Okay, in this video we're just going to have a look at battery compatibility between the older BLF-19 batteries, which are these ones, and the newer BLK22 batteries, so the newer Lumix batteries. And essentially, we've kind of in other videos we've been through it and kind of said that the older batteries work in the newer cameras, and I'll link to that video kind of showing that you can kind of use these, but the thing is they do come with some limitations, so you know, I sort of talk all about that in that other video, so you can kind of see about that. And you can actually use the as showed in another video, you can actually use the newer batteries in the older cameras. So I mean specifically the BLK22 works in my GH5, so presumably G9, so on. And another thing people kind of ask me is whether the chargers are interchangeable, which is a good question. So essentially what you can do, we've got that's the BLF-19 official Lumix charger, BLK22 official charger, and then just a third party off brand, just so I can show you a couple of things. But basically with the newer cameras, a lot of them don't actually come with chargers. So with the GH6 I did get one, and you can kind of, it's just a USB-C charger. You can see here, if I put the BLF-19 into this one, you should just about be able to see, you can see it's flashing, so it's charging. So you can actually charge older batteries in the newer battery sleds. So that's quite useful. But the older batteries, obviously, there's a slight difference in the pin layouts. They look perfectly the same there, and then when you flip them over, BLK22 has got these pins here now. So it's a slightly different layout in, you know, how that works. And then also, if you look at them, I mean, you don't need to look at them too carefully, but you can see this one now has a rounded edge, the BLK22. So whereas this one had two sort of right angle edges and then a curved top, this one's actually got three sort of curved edges and then one right angle edge. So they're a slightly different shape as well now, and because of the pin set out, you can't use these now in the old sleds. They don't fit in, and obviously, you know, you've got these pins here that wouldn't be in contact with anything anyway, but they just don't work in those chargers. So the actual the layout for this one, I mean, it doesn't make contact with those other pins, but you can see it just like drops straight into it. It's a totally different kind of layout of a charger. So yeah, you're not going to fit BLK22 into the old ones. They just don't slide into place. Like the pins actually look like they would line up, but there's no physical way you can actually make it kind of like fit onto there. It just doesn't slide into place. And to be honest, the same kind of goes for with a lot of third-party ones. Obviously you can charge your BLK22 batteries in there, they fit fine, but a lot of them are shaped out so that they only really fit the new batteries. You can see like all the edges are curved out to exactly how the batteries are now. So if you try and put in an older battery, it won't work because you've got rounded edges where it needs a flat edge. So you're never going to actually fit that into there. And then also, even if you were able to do that, some of these newer ones, they actually just have contacts for the top pins. So they're not actually going to work with this anyway, because even if you manage to force that into there, it's not making contact with anything. So that's not going to work either. So actually, Lumix have done quite well here, because they've managed to, with the BLK22 new charger, because they've made it the shape of the old battery, and obviously it's not far off the shape of the new battery, it's the only one actually that fits both batteries in and charges both of them. So essentially, what I'm saying really here is the official Lumix, or anyone you can find that has the older shape battery kind of recess, will work generally with the older batteries and the newer ones. This is the only one I've seen, but yeah, that will work with the BLK22 and the BLF-19. these newer third-party ones for the BLK22 won't work with older batteries because of the shape, and the older Lumix one won't work with the newer batteries just because it won't slide into the actual the kind of dock on it. So yeah, this one really is the only one that will kind of do both. But obviously you've got the option to, you can use the older batteries in the newer cameras. So, you know, you could charge it in camera because that's an option now with the newer cameras. So, you know, if you're in a pinch, you've got options to kind of charge it. It just might be that it has to be done in a different way. You'll have to do it in camera rather than using one of these. And as I say, they're useful. You know, I always take the older batteries as a bit of a backup, but there are those limitations. So make sure you watch that other video to kind of know what they are, because you don't really want to get caught short using older batteries and not having all the features you need available. So hopefully you found that helpful. If you have, give the video a like. If you want to see more Lumix content, check out the playlist on this channel, and please subscribe.